Hello, my name's Mike. I'll be taking you through a quick little video walkthrough on your new Jayco Eagle. It's all my paperwork, but you were trading in a unit. Sale lot of it's going to be real similar, you know, your basics, your water hookup, got your holding tanks, and I usually just go here. This thing's got a lot of stuff on it, so I'm just going to try to hit the major stuff. And this unit does have the auto level system. I usually start with it. This one's got a 6-point leveling system. Got 2 in the rear, 2 in the middle, and then they count your 2 front legs as your front levelers. You can see in your front panel, this is kind of like your quick access control panel. Got all your instructions for it right there, but we'll go over a few things. To turn the power on, you hit your up and down at the same time. There we go. It lights up, letting you know it's on. I've already done the auto level, so it's sitting level. You can see you've got up and down, auto level, hitch height, and retract all. Now, once you turn it on, if you want to run your front landing legs, that'll raise the front, that'll lower the front. So that just controls your front landing legs. That's what you'll use to hook and unhook from your truck. They recommend before you auto level, go ahead and unhook from your tow vehicle by using your arrows. Once you get unhooked from your truck, you'll pull your truck out of the way. Then you'll just come, hit your auto level. It'll start flashing your LED, letting you know it's operating. And then it'll go through its leveling procedure. Usually takes it maybe 3 or 4 minutes. You can see you've got 2 other, your hitch height, whenever you're ready to leave the campsite. This unit, it remembers whenever you hit auto level. It remembers where it was when you started, and that of course is going to be when you unhook your truck. So when you're ready to leave, you turn your panel on with your arrows, hit your hitch height, and then it's going to retract your 4 rear jacks, take the front back to the height that you started at. That way you can just hook your truck right up. Once you get your tow vehicle hooked up, you make sure it's latched in. Then you can hit your retract all. Any of the jacks that are down, it's going to retract them until they shut off. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the 5th wheels, but we'll look at these front legs. You can see you've got a outer leg. That's what you're using your switch. It's running that in and out. Then you've got this release handle. When you pull that, you can drop that inner leg out. I've probably got way too much dropped out. If you're starting off fairly close to level, I usually drop about 6 holes out and then let that latch back in. This is a pin that goes through, so once it snaps back in, get in the habit, reach around there and feel, make sure that pin went all the way through. Like I said, you know, if you're sitting, you know you're going to have to come up way in the front, then you may let a few more holes out. You'll kind of get an idea of it after you set it up a few times. But normally, if you're fairly close to level, you'll run about 6-7 holes out, latch it in. Then you use your up and down buttons to run your jacks. And we'll get into it more inside. This unit has the touchpad inside. You use it, you can operate all like your appliances, your lights, your slides. You can also work your auto level setup. It has a lot more detail on the touchpad. It has where you can go in there and run individual jacks. You can manually level it. So it's got a lot, and if anything goes wrong, like you get any kind of error codes or fault codes, it'll, on your touchpad inside, it'll tell you what fault codes they are. Pretty rare to get them now. Probably the most common is it'll say excess slope or out of stroke. Like if you got one of your jacks, there's a big dip and it never does touch the ground, it'll give you an excess slope out of stroke, letting you know you need to put a block under your jack or Usually it'll also, I think this system even tells you which jack. You can see on your landing legs, you got a pin you can pull out. You can see I've got it dropped out 2 holes. I think it's got 4 or 5, so you can drop those out. That'll save you from having to put blocks under it. Got our water hookups, probably kind of similar. You can see here on the right side, we've got our city water connection. That's your main hookup. Got a little diagram here with a couple valves. You can see if you want to fill your fresh water tank, you'll turn your valves like this. And when you turn your water on, it's going to fill that fresh tank. You can see I'm in the dry camp setting. I already checked it on the city water. Now I'm running my water pump and running off my tank. So once you get your tank full, you turn it to dry camp. That's where I'm at now. And then when you flip your pump on, you're running off your tank. They also put a pump switch out here, it's pretty handy. That's also controlled with your touchpad. This one's also got the app you can download. I'll talk about more, but all the stuff on your touchpad, you can have it on your phone, which is really handy. And then if you're hooked to a water supply, of course, you got your city water. You'll set your valve like so, and then turn your water on, you'll be hooked to city water. You can see you got a sanitize winterize connection. That's going to be your 2 settings here. You can winterize your unit all from this location. You can see they include a little piece of hose. You can thread that into your winterize connection, turn your knobs to the winterize setting. When you flip your pump on, it's going to suck from this fitting. You put your hose in your jug antifreeze, and that'll suck up the antifreeze and send it out to the fixtures. Water heater bypass. Got a little valve right here. I've got it in normal now. Just flip it to bypass. That bypasses your water heater. Then you just pop your 1 1/16" plug out of there and drain it. Go to all your faucets till you get your pink out of the hot and cold. This unit you probably buy 3 gallons, and you'll probably use 2 and about half of another one. I just take what's left over and pour it down my traps. You can see sanitize, it's similar, where you can hook your hose up. Your pump's going to suck from this fitting. Instead of sending it to your fixtures to winterize, it's going to send it into your fresh water tank. So you can mix up like a vinegar or bleach water solution. I think in the manual it tells you different solutions, but you can pump that into your tank and drain it out, flush that tank out. Your black connection there is your sewer tank flush. Whenever you dump your black tank, you just leave your handle open like so, and you hook your hose up to your flusher, and that'll spray out the inside of your black tank. A lot of people will get a clear sewer hose connector, so you can see that go clear. You probably saw here, this unit's got 1 black tank, 2 grays. They separate the kitchen and the bathroom. This middle one's going to be your gray 1, which is your bathroom. This one on the end, that's your gray 2 on your panel. That's your kitchen sink's the only thing runs to it. All 3 tanks dump out the 1 outlet, so you just got the 1 hookup. The unit comes with just a basic little 10-foot sewer hose and an end, kind of like a little starter hose. Got a quick connect faucet there. They include this blue hose. It's got a little quick connect end. On the direct opposite side, you've got that similar fitting. It just doesn't have a faucet. They call it a spray port. That will, you can have a water supply on that side, and this hose hooks into it also. Probably saw our water heater. It's an electric and propane. You turn it on, it's got on your touchpad, you've got a separate switch for water heater electric, water heater gas. You can run it on both if you want it to recover a little quicker. You can see this has got the 50 amp power cord. This is the one that comes with the unit. I've still got it wrapped up. I still gotta hook it up and check it, make sure it's good, but right now I'm plugged in using a shop cord. You can see I just got a little adapter that steps it down to a 30 amp, but it's got the same twist lock, only plugs in one way. Plug it in, you turn it to the right, and then you tighten your ring down. Keeps that connection tight. This one's nice, it lights up, letting you know you got power, you've got a good connection. The cord that comes with it's usually a 30-foot. Unit also comes with 2 reducer adapters. One will step your 50 amp cord down to a 30 amp hookup, and then there's one that'll step that 30 amp down to a 15 amp or just a regular outlet. You can see here they got a big compartment. I got it open, but this gives access to the back of your fridge. This fridge has an ice maker, and they put this whole hatch in here just in case that water valve ever goes bad. And trust me, if that water valve ever goes bad, whoever has to change it will be thanking the Lord that they put this hatch in. This one's got a residential type fridge. You'll see it when I get inside, but they are extremely difficult to remove, very heavy and kind of awkward to try. I've removed one before and it is an all-day job. So they put that access panel to where this can be worked on while it's still in the unit. To take this panel off, I guess I can get to like the compressor and all that stuff, but I thought at first that was kind of weird that they got that door just for that. But if you've ever had to change out one of them valves on a fridge like that, you'll be glad they put that there. And speaking of ice maker, on this rear room, you can see they've got a sticker on the bottom low point drain, kind of gives you an idea of where it's at under the unit. You can see there's a little T-handle valve. Kind of hard to see in the darkness. Right now it's closed, but this will drain the ice maker on your fridge. You can pop this little T-handle open and that'll drain out any water that's in the line of that ice maker. So whenever you winterize your unit, you want to pop that open and let that line drain out. Because it doesn't actually, it's set up to where you don't, when you pump the antifreeze, it will not go into your ice maker. So it won't damage it or anything. So they give you that little drain to winterize it. You just pop that open and let that drain out. That's another thing that a lot of them that have ice makers don't do that, and it's very difficult to winterize them when winter comes. In that fridge, it also has a water filter in it. So, you know, if you pump that antifreeze through it, it's going to ruin that filter. And so I like they got the drain there to make that easy. As you can see, we're right up against another unit, so I don't have this slide out all the way. You can kind of see on the inside, I think it lacks about a foot that's going out the rest of the way, but I always get nervous when I'm real close. I worry about that camper rocking or something and hitting the one beside me, so I left a little space. Oh, your LP tanks, got one on each side. This one has your regulator, probably had something similar. It's got a little turn valve. It's hard to see the lighting, but has a little turn valve on the top where you point at which tank you're wanting to run on. Has a pinwheel, it's green. While you got gas and your tank's on, that little pinwheel will go red when that tank got empty. That's your 2 batteries. This one's got so much electronics and slides where it's set up to have 2 batteries. So got your 2 in there. Your LP tanks, we go ahead and fill them up so you're ready to camp. You can see here, there's our little 10-foot sewer hose kit. Got the end. There's our 2 electric adapters. Got a crank handle. I believe that this one has a crank down spare, so you can crank it down. Has a really good owner's packet. They have some of the best owner's manuals. If you've had any other brands that aren't Jayco, you'll really be impressed by their owner's manual. It goes from loading it, leveling, how to use everything. Even got checklists in there like maintenance. So this is a definite plus. Got the outside kitchen. That's your little mini fridge. It's a 110 only fridge. Got the pull-out grill. There's a quick connect hose. Hooks to the grill. And then down underneath, you can see you got your quick connect there. So that'll let you tap right into your 2 tanks up front. I think I'll step in here and look at a few things. Like I said, I still, this is just now Thursday evening. I think you're picking this one up Saturday morning. So I still got a few little things to check and get set up. Of course, our detailers, once I get everything checked out, they go through and finish up the cleaning. They'll go through and sanitize like all the handles, touch screens, all that knobs. So that way when you come to get it, it's nice, clean, and sanitized. I'll just kind of pan around a little bit, and sometimes you don't get to look at them in real detail when you're picking them out. Let's say most of the instruction here on the inside will be with this touchpad set up. I really like this little, kind of like a little side room off to the side. Got a fold down bunk, has latches. Got a TV hookup, and they mark where you can put a mount if you want to. Got the little desk. I like this little bunk area too, that's really cool. Got a little ladder, pulls out. I think, yeah, there's some, they got some electric outlets there. I know that's one thing, if you got little ones going to be staying in there, that's a good idea to get some of them little plastic plugs you can put in there. I thought that may not be the best place to put 2 electric outlets, depending on how old they are. Shoot, I know now even these young kids, they need somewhere to plug their phones in, their games, and you'll find they got USB chargers, all different locations. And like I was saying, that touchpad, on that touch panel, you can control all your lights in all the different locations that you can see here in each room. You can do your ceiling lights. You can actually run your slide out from here. Got your hallway lights. You'll see these are little temperature sensors for your AC. There's one in the front area too. And this is a little idea that they had, which this is an excellent idea. They put a little panel here. You can see you can do your ceiling and your hall lights, and you can turn on all interior lights or all exterior lights, all while you're laying in bed. I thought that was kind of like if you hear noises or something outside, you can flip all your lights on outside. You got your awning lights, all those will kick on at each room. So like if you want to turn your bedroom lights off and you don't want to go all the way back to your touchpad, you can control them here. Really nice bathroom. I like that 3-door shower. Got a little latch there. That's something I always make sure those are latched good for travel. You can see there our room just a little bit shy of being all the way out. And you got 2 chairs here. They got little buckles on the bottom, so you can clip them in whenever you're camping. You can unbuckle them and unhook them from the floor and like put your strap, hide them away. I think most of these, yep, the seat lifts up. They got little covers for the backs of them. You got 2 more chairs. They look just like that, but they fold up. Those are located under your bed. in the bedroom there, the under bed storage has your other 2 chairs. You can see this empty spot in the strap there. I left it out so they can clean back there, but this one has like the little ottoman bench type setup. So that goes on the other side, and they give you a strap for when you're traveling. And of course this top lifts up so you can store stuff in there. Different setup, I kind of like it. Got your breaker box there down low, fuses and breakers. This has got a really nice fridge in it. They use the Whirlpools. It's a 110 only type fridge. Only runs on electric. This one's nice. Most of them, like probably the one you have, it'll have an electric fridge, but it will run off of propane also, kind of like a backup. This one, since you don't have the propane backup, this one has an inverter. It was actually mounted, that compartment where your controls for your front jacks and everything, where we started at, it's mounted up on the top there. You probably didn't see it on the video, but the inverter will let you run 110 appliances off of your 2 12-volt batteries. I'll show you here. In the bedroom, you can see this is Antrex. This little panel, when it's on, you got a light lit up. That inverter, what you do is, like if you want to run that fridge while you're traveling, you can flip your inverter on like so, like it is now. If you're plugged in and your inverter's on, it defaults to your power cord. So if I unplug my power cord, that fridge, the 12-volt batteries will take over. It'll use that inverter and switch that 12-volt over to 110. That's also nice when you're traveling, your vehicle's charging your batteries. So it's kind of like you're charging it as you're using the power. And that's also your backup. If you're ever gonna leave the campground or something for an extended time, turn your inverter on, and if your power's good, it's just kind of sitting there doing nothing. Let's say the breaker kicks where you're plugged in, that inverter will be your backup and will pick up your fridge, run off your batteries until you realize, hey, I lost my 110. Once you kick your breaker back on, it'll go back to the short cord power. And in your owner's packet, I put the book for this inverter. It's one of the first books. I definitely recommend reading that. This thing has a lot of different features you can use. I'll just show you like this top button, just the basic. You can see it tells you our batteries are charging at 13.2 volts. And hit it again. There it is. But it'll tell you, you can go down through there and it'll tell you, like if you're plugged into 110, it'll tell you how much AC volts you're getting, like 120, 121. And there's also, you can go in there and set voltages, like if it drops to a certain voltage, it'll kick the charger on, and if it gets, it's got an automatic thing. If that battery gets so low, it goes to a bulk charge, where it's like a quick charge. So that when you first plug it in, it'll go to that quick charge till it gets up to like 12.6, and then it kicks back over to the regular charge. But that's definitely something I recommend kind of doing a little research on, and real nice to have though. That a lot of them are going to they're doing away with the LP gas part of the fridges. I've seen a lot of them now, they're going to 12-volt fridges, which are really new. So I don't think Genco doesn't like using stuff that kind of just came out. Usually they don't put anything in that they haven't tested for a little while, and so they went with the 110 fridge, and they use the inverter for the backup. And this is literally just like, I think you could even, wherever they sell Whirlpools, you can go get this same fridge for your house. You can see whenever you hit a button, it'll light up. You can see you got options. I've got it on fast ice. When you first plug up, you can turn it on fast ice and it'll make that first bucket, I guess, a little quicker. And you got your back. You can pick crushed or cubed ice. You can turn your lights on your little touch pads there. You can set the temperatures on the fridge freezer. You can lock it out. This is real handy, the measured fill. You can set it like if you got a 12-ounce cup, you can hit 12 ounces, put your cup in there, hit dispense, and it'll dispense exactly 12 ounces. Or when you go back, it's just like a regular, you'll put your cup in there and push your little paddle, and it'll dispense it until you release it. Left side's your ice, right side's your water. You can see on the inside, there's our ice maker. Look there, it's just starting to, I got a couple cubes going. And you can, it's kind of hard, I don't want to do it one-handed so I don't drop it, but this pulls down and the top of this tilts out, and you can lift that bucket up out of the door. On the left side, there's a little on-off switch. So if you're not going to be using the ice maker, you can see they got a little picture diagram, but you can turn that ice maker off if you're not going to be using it. And they, whenever you're traveling, they use a simple Velcro strap. Just goes around both handles, straps them in place. That way they can't come open on you. Yeah, this is something you'll really kind of play around with. You see I got a little black sensor in there from your touchpad. It's got a little place you can go that tells you your fridge temperature. So that means if you download the app on your phone, you can pull your phone out while you're outside and it'll tell you what temperature your fridge is. That's roughing it right there. Let's see, I think we got about got all the major stuff. We got a really nice entertainment center. They've got JBL speakers and they use a JBL system. It's got AM, FM. It's tied in with the TV, so you get surround sound. Got your Bluetooth, your A, B, and C. You've got 2 sets of inside speakers, front and rear. Then your C speakers are your outside speakers. On Bluetooth, whenever you go to the settings on your phone, it comes up as JBL Aura, A-U-R-A. Just click it and it'll pair up with it. It's got a remote with it, but you can go in there and change the display colors. You can make that little ring. It'll pulse with the music. You can do all kinds of settings on it. Let's see. I think with the last few minutes we got here, we'll talk about our touch screen. This is kind of the main hub of everything. You can see from your panel, you can just hit your screen. That'll bring up your, it always starts out on the home screen. You can see you can do your climate. It's got your lights. That's really handy. You can turn all your ceiling lights off in the whole unit with the one button. Got your tank levels. Hit it and you got your fresh, gray 1, gray 2, black. Those will fill up. Let's see, kind of hard time focusing there, but you can turn your water pump on and off. Electric water heater. I've got it on gas water heater now. And you got your little menu here. Lightning bolt. That'll tell you your battery voltage. Here's our status. This one's prepped. You can buy a tire pressure monitor kit, and you can add those on and monitor your tire pressure. There's our refrigerator. It's at 41 degrees. Got your lights. You can see all your lights are dimmers. You can dim and brighten all your lights. Even the awning lights have dimmers. And that brings up another thing. Remember I was showing you the little these pads here. You can also dim it like dinette. If you push and hold it, you'll see it starts dimming. You release it, push and hold it again, and that'll start going brighter. So you can dim them from the panels also. And it's just like a phone. You scroll down, pick which one you want. You got your climate, you got your main AC, second AC. Your second AC just has fan and cool. The main AC you've got will hit power. You see I've got the heat on now, but you can pick. You've got cool, auto cool, fan, or heat. And then you can pick your fan speed. And then of course you got your temperature up and down. Turn that off. And then you got a little water drop. There's our tanks again. This one is the motors. You can see you got our levelers, you got retract all, auto level. And then you scroll down, got your slide out rooms, both your awnings. You just push and hold those, extend or retract. And this is a nice feature. Oh, messed up, there we go. You can hit individual jacks, and it's got each jack. You can run each individual jack up and down. Really nice setup. This bottom part, this is kind of like your backup. Let's say that touchscreen's messed up, it broke, or it ain't working. This is your light switch, that all lights. I think this does your awning lights, and then I think the bedroom lights maybe. This WP, you can turn your water pump on and off just by hitting it. And then you see you got extend and retract. You can use this. That is slide 4, slide 3, slide 2, slide 1, awning 2, awning 1. And it's got the PA is when you go to pair with it, that you can run rooms, awnings, extend, retract from there. That's kind of handy if that panel ever quit working. But I highly recommend downloading the app. I'll show you on my phone here. It's called J-Command. That's kind of what the icon looks like. I just went wherever you get your apps, go to search, type in J-Command. It's also called BM Pro, and it's actually written right on the front of the unit. It's a free app. You download it, and you'll see when you open it, it'll ask you which device you're using. Of course, ours is the bigger one, so we click that. How do you want to connect to your RV? I'm going to use Bluetooth. And it tells you, shows you to press the right arrow on your panel till you get to the PA. Okay, I did that, so you click next. Now it says press the extend button. You can see it shows you which one. Press the extend button to connect. You come up here, hit your extend. It's kind of hard to do holding an iPad and a phone. But sometimes it'll take it a second or two to kind of recognize it. You can see now we're spinning, there we go. And you can also, set up a BM Pro Cloud account, and it says it lets you access RV remotely. So if you're not in Bluetooth range, you can set this cloud up, and you can do the same stuff when you're not on Bluetooth range. I always just click no thanks, and here's our screens. We got them all broke down. And then on this top left, you hit that little top left, and there you can see it breaks each section down. But that's really handy, this phone app. And that BM Pro J-Command is by far the best app that I've seen for these, to run it remotely from your phone. It's amazing how much easier it is to hook up to. I just took you through step by step, took like a minute. Some of these systems, it is an ordeal to get your phones hooked up to it, and it's definitely one of the best. I know all the techs, if you ask them which is their favorite touchscreen setup, about everyone will say that BM Pro, the J Command. But I'll go ahead and get off here, get this uploaded, and give you a chance to watch it before Saturday. And I'll be the one when you come to pick it up doing any kind of setup for your truck, like you're hooking your tow vehicle up. And if you I know I only went over not a whole lot of stuff, but I don't know if there's anything you got questions on, we can answer those. You know, we just like to kind of cover most of the major stuff in the video, and I'll go ahead and thank you ahead of time for taking the time to watch my video. I hope it helps you out. And I guess we will see you on Saturday morning. Y'all have a good evening. Thank you.